हेलो एवरीवन, आई होप कि आप लोग अच्छे होंगे। तो बायोलॉजी का आज मैं पहला चैप्टर कर रहा हूँ स्टार्ट। तो फर्स्ट चैप्टर है द लिविंग वर्ल्ड। हाउ वंडरफुल इज द लिविंग वर्ल्ड, द वाइड रेंज ऑफ लिविंग टाइप्स इज अमेजिंग, द एक्स्ट्रा ordinary habitat in which we find living organisms, be it cold mountains, okay, deciduous forest, oceans, fresh water lakes, desert, or hot springs leave us speechless. The beauty of a galloping horse, of the migrating birds, the valley of flowers, or the attacking shark evokes away and a deep sense of wonderful. The ecological conflict and cooperation among members of a population and among population of a community, or even the molecular traffic inside a cell, make us deeply reflect on what indeed is life. This question has two implicit questions within it. The first is a technical one and seeks answer to what living is and opposed to the non-living, and the second is a philosophical one and seek answering the second question. We will try to reflect on what is living. What is living? When we try to define living, we conventionally look for distinctive characteristics exhibited by living organisms: growth, reproduction, ability to sense environment, and mount a suitable response come to our mind immediately as unique features of living organisms. One can add a few more features like metabolism, ability to self-replicate, self-organize, interact, and emergence to do this list. Let us try to understand each of these. All living organisms grow. Increase in mass and increase in numbers of individuals are two characteristics of growth. A multicellular organism grows by cell division. In plants, this growth by cell division occurs continuously throughout their lifespan. In animals, this growth is seen only up to a certain age. However, cell division occurs in certain tissue to replace lost cell. Unicellular organisms grow by division cell. One can easily observe this in introculture by simply counting the number of cells under the microscope. In majority of higher animals and plants, growth and reproduction are mutually exclusive events. One must remember that increase in body mass is considered as a growth. Non-living objects also grow if we take increase in body mass as a criterion for growth. Mountains, boulders, and sand moulds do grow. However, this kind of growth exhibited by non-living object is by accumulation of materials on the surface. In living organisms, growth is from inside. Growth, therefore, cannot be taken as a defining property of living organism. Yeah, condition under which it can be observed in all living organisms have to explained, and then we understand that it is a characteristics of living systems. A dead organism does not grow. Reproduction likewise is a characteristics of living organism. In multicellular organism, reproduction refers to the production of progeny possessing features more or less similar to those of parents. Invariably and implicitly, we refer to sexual reproduction. Organisms reproduce by asexual means also. Fungi multiply and spread easily due to the millions of asexual spores they produce. In lower organisms like yeast and hydra, we observe budding. In planaria flatworms, we observe true regeneration. That is, a fragmented organism regenerates the lost part of its body and becomes a new organism. The fungi, the filamentous algae, the protonema of mosses all easily multiply by fragmentation. When it comes to unicellular organism like bacteria, unicellular algae, or amoeba, reproduction is synonymous with growth. That is, increase in number of cells. We have already defined growth as equivalent to increase in cell number or mass. Hence, we notice that in single-celled organisms, we are not very clear about the uses of these two terms, growth and reproduction. Further, there are many organisms which do not reproduce: mules or sterile, workers, bees, and infertile human couples, etc. Hence, reproduction also cannot be an all-inclusive defining characteristics of living organism. Of course, no non-living object is capable of reproducing or replicating by itself. Okay. Another characteristics of life is metabolism. All living organisms are made of chemicals. These chemicals, small and big, belonging to various classes, sizes, functions, etc., are constantly being made and changed into some other biomolecules. These conversions are chemical reaction or metabolic reaction. There are thousands of metabolic reactions occurring simultaneously inside all living organisms, be they unicellular or multicellular. All plants, animals, fungi, and microbes exhibit metabolism. The sum total of all the chemical reactions occurs in our body is metabolism. No non-living object exhibits metabolism. Metabolic reactions can be demonstrated outside the body in a cell-free systems. An isolated metabolic reaction outside the body of an organism performed in a test tube is neither living nor living. Hence, while metabolism is a defining feature of all living organisms without exception, isolated metabolic reactions intro are not a living thing but surely living reactions. Hence, cellular organization of the body is the defining features of life forms. Perhaps the most obvious and technically complicated features of all living organisms is this ability to sense their surrounding or environment and respond to these environmental stimuli, which could be physical, chemical, or biological. We sense our environment through our sense organs. Plants respond to external factors like light, water, temperature, other organisms, pollutants, etc. All organisms, from the prokaryotics to most complex eukaryotics, can sense and respond to environmental cues. Photoperiod affect reproduction in seasonal breeders. Both plants and animals, all organisms handles chemical entering their bodies. All organisms therefore be aware of their surroundings. Human beings is the only organism who is aware of himself, that is, has self-consciousness. Consciousness therefore becomes the defining property of living organism. When it comes to human beings, it is all the most difficult to define the living state. We observe patient lying in coma in hospitals, virtually supported by machines which replace heart and lungs. The patient is otherwise brain dead. The patient has no self-consciousness. Are such a patient who never come back to normal life, living or non-living. In higher classes, you will come to know that all living phenomena are due to underlying interaction. Properties of tissues are not present in the constituent cells but arise as a result of interaction among the constituent cells. Similarly, properties of cellular organelles are not present in the molecular constituents of the organelle but arise as a result of interaction among the molecular components comprising the organelle. These interactions result in emergent properties at a higher level of organization. This phenomenon is true in the hierarchy of organizational complexity at all levels. Therefore, we can say that living organisms are self-replicating, evolving, and self-regulating interactive systems capable of responding to external stimuli. Biology is the story of life on the earth. Biology is the story of evolution of living organism on earth. All living organisms, present, past, and futures, are linked to one another by the sharing of the common genetic material, but to vary degrees. Thank you.